What happens when politics interferes with central banks? Europe's top financial officials are warning that this could threaten the global economy. The European Central Bank has issued a serious warning about growing risks to the global economy. A senior ECB policymaker said that political pressure on the U.S. Federal Reserve is becoming a dangerous trend, especially at a time when inflation, debt, and financial instability remain major concerns. Central banks are meant to operate independently, free from political influence, so they can make decisions based on economic data, not political interests. When that independence is threatened, markets react, currencies fluctuate, and investor confidence weakens. This warning doesn't affect only the United States. Because the US dollar and American financial policy influence the entire world, any instability at the Federal Reserve can send shockwaves across global markets. Europe is already facing slow growth, high living costs, and pressure on public budgets. Meanwhile, emerging markets are struggling with rising debt and weaker currencies. If central banks lose credibility, borrowing costs could rise, investments could slow, and economic growth could weaken worldwide. History shows that when political leaders interfere with monetary policy, inflation often rises, and financial crises become more likely. Investors depend on central banks to act responsibly and independently. The ECB official stressed that while inflation in Europe is approaching target levels, the global economic environment remains fragile. Any loss of trust in central bank independence could trigger market volatility, currency instability, and financial uncertainty. Economists now warn that the next phase of global economic policy will be critical. If central banks maintain independence, stability may return, but if political interference increases, the world could face renewed inflation, slower growth, and rising financial risk. This report is based on coverage from Reuters and statements from European Central Bank officials. For clear, reliable, and simple explanations of global business and economic trends, subscribe to World Business Explained.